Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun, I remember the first time I saw you playing in Dallas. I had never heard of you, seen you before. I thought it was like the first time you ever played a pro tournament. So I text
Was that?
Pardo and I was like, all right, this kid's got like long hair, sleeveless. He's tatted. He's trying to rip like trick shots. He's, fist pumping. This is the heel for pickleball. Like so I texted Pardo. I'm like, we gotta like, you got to get this guy and you got to make him play pickleball and he needs to be the villain of pickleball. And I think
Yeah.
for a little bit there, you kind of were leaning into that. I mean, you definitely are, trolling online. You're going at the tennis pros. But at one point, all of a sudden you come to a tournament, it's like sleeves, you got the clean haircut, you're taming the behavior a little bit. I'm like, what happened? Like, this is your golden ticket. You got to be the bad boy of pickleball.
Yeah, I mean, definitely at the start, I was going for that, like just making a name for myself. The trick shots. I did the trick shots because it's the reason I love pickleball, because it's so much fun. Like that's why we all play pickleball, because it's so much fun. That's why we all quit tennis, because tennis is less fun. Tennis is still fun, but less fun than pickleball. But I was, trying to make a name for myself. You get on center court, and like if it's your first time on center court, you're kind of like, wow, there's a crowd watching me. Like I gotta, play to the crowd a little bit. And the more tournaments I played, the more comfortable I got. The more I feel like the more that my true self started to come out. Because like at first, it's like you're the new kid in town. You're like you act differently than when you get comfortable. And I don't really think that like the whole overly loud or sleeveless. I mean, I still like wearing sleeveless, but I kind of wanted to tame it back and just focus on winning. Because for a period, I was just focused on people saying my name or like getting my name out there. And I mean, that's great and stuff, but I'd rather be known for winning than I would be than I'd rather be known for winning than oh, look at this guy who's always talking shit and saying and being that guy. Like I think like that's cool, but
That's cool too.
it's a lot cooler to win. So a lot of people had conversations with me about like, taking it more serious. I was like, no, I can do both. But eventually I realized that in order to take it serious, I had to kind of cut some things off. And that's what I've been doing for the last year, is just trying to be the number one pickleball player in the world.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Let me ask you, what is more descriptive of who Christian really is? Is the guy early on, or were you putting on a little bit of a show, or is it the guy that you're on the court now, or is it somewhere in between? Like if you were just being you, like which Christian do we see?
I think that's changed a lot in the 2 years since I started playing tournament. I mean, that Dallas tournament was, I think, almost 2 years ago. And at first I may have been a little bit more of that like rowdy guy. I'm like fresh out of college where, heckling's a big thing, doing whatever it takes to win. I mean, I still heckle now, like if it's needed, but like I don't really heckle too much. But if I think heckling's gonna help me win, I'll heckle someone. I don't care. I think the person I was right when I started playing pickleball was me, but then like was trying to find who I was on the court, and it's kind of changed into I'd rather be the collared wearing. I love wearing collards, collared shirts. I think that's like a clean look. I mean, Roger Federer vibe is like something I really aspire to be. But then at the same time, like Nick Kyrgios is he's like the reason I like tennis, to be honest. Nick Kyrgios, even though
Really?
I'll give him.
So that exchange you had was that cool?
Oh, it's
or
completely
like, damn?
sincere. I mean, if somebody's gonna like say something to me that, like negatively or whatever, I'll defend myself. I don't care if I like. Why do you think I hit so many tweeners? Like, where did I learn that from? I was watching him hitting tweeners. I was like, this guy's awesome. This guy like it's a serious match. He's hitting tweeners. That's so cool. So I definitely have parts of me that are like Nick, parts of me that are like Federer, and I mean I grew up in tennis, so I had a lot of tennis people that I was like watching and kind of maybe formed who I was based off that.
Yeah. Well, Nick weirdly, I think, went through a period where highly, highly criticized, had a lot of issues in his own career, kind of took time off personally, seems to have really taken a step back, but in a weird way because he just kept being himself. Now, if you ask somebody, the average tennis fan is going to be like, Nick Kyrgios is awesome. Except for, the older kind of legacy generation who, if you're not a gentleman out there, then you're a pariah. But most people appreciate Nick, his character, and like his authenticity. And it's come back around to where now everybody loves him, right? Now they're putting him on broadcasts and inviting him to shows and stuff like that. So I think, there's a case to be made that if you just be you out there, it ultimately works at the end of the day.
Yeah. If being you is a cool guy, that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think has?
Do
you think anybody has filled in your shoes as kind of the bad boy of pickleball? Because you were the bad boy of pickleball for 6 months, maybe.
I mean, if that's what you get called for, wearing a sleeveless shirt and bringing a lot of fire to matches. Yeah,
I'm not placing any judgment on it, but that you were, and we loved it. We were your biggest fans. We were like, yeah, we need this.
Yeah, I mean, I think the PPA was trying to build it up as that, and James and I have some beef. I could beat him with a wooden spoon. Still believe that to this day, but I don't think the bad guy or the bad boy vibe is it's just you can't really be something you're not, and you can't keep that going. So it wasn't gonna last.
But do you think that there's anybody that's sort of filled in? Who would you call the bad boy of pickleball at this point? Is it kind of back to Tyson? He's not really he's not a bad boy, right? But he's got the tats, he's got the mullet, he's pounding Bud Lights afterwards. Who is?
I know the answer to this. It's probably Howells, Will Howells right now. Yeah, he talked more shit than a lot of people while he's playing, or Matt Wright is still up there too. But Will is can be very in your face and kind of out of nowhere, not called for. It's I don't mind if you're in my face. It it drives me to want to do better. But some people, if you're in their face, they dwindle and break down. So
yeah. Willie did get a little bit of a rep for that. He's toning it down too. It seems like. He still likes to get in Ben's face. He likes to start his fights with Ben and Colin, but who doesn't?
Right? One of my favorite pastimes.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about various pickleball clubs, how they can range, and kind of the market opportunity there, which I think is quite obvious, especially to us in pickleball. So if you've ever thought about investing in pickleball facility, the Pickleball Club is looking for accredited investors. So they're developing a premier membership-based private indoor pickleball facility chain in the United States, and they opened their first one in Sarasota, Florida in May 2023, and they have 6 more in development across Florida. Florida, obviously a really hot market for pickleball, but there's an unmet demand for weatherproof indoor pickleball courts. So if they want to have many clubs nationwide, and really just ride the wave of this pickleball growth. They're doing a private offering for accredited investors. So you have to be an accredited investor. Revenue streams are memberships, lessons, events, and merchandise sales. So diversified revenue. And obviously there's high potential for return on investment. It's a replicable model. Again, they're working on having their 7th club here in Florida soon and going nationwide. And pickleball facilities are a pretty stable business. So they offer a strong financial return potential in what I think we all agree is a booming market. So to potentially become an investor in the Pickleball Club, you can go to thepickleballclub.us/invest. That's thepickleballclub.us/invest, and have a personal stake in the growth of pickleball. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie,